Hello, hi, how's it going?
Hey, how
Good. How
are
you
you?
doing?
I get a 2 for 1. I'm so excited about that. And I'm really excited that the new season of The Witches of East End premieres Sunday, July 6th at 9 p.m. on Lifetime. It's my job to kind of get the dirt and find out juicy stuff about celebrities and about the show. Is there anything you could let me know in advance of the premiere, and any spoilers, anything you could let people watching know?
I'm trying
Look, I
to.
don't think they'll mind if I tell you this. Dash and Killian adopted baby dragon,
This is true.
and
Yeah, we're tipping you off with something. It's a very cute baby dragon, though.
adorable, just adorable. We obviously come to terms with each other, and we just raised this little baby dragon, and
Teach you how to fly and spit fire.
And you're not joking.
No, we're joking.
total
No.
total joke. Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
Oh, we had you. Very interesting.
No,
Let
I
me
was just
pause
looking at
you
your
there
face, going, "Oh my
because I
gosh,
was
that is
believing you for
fascinating."
a second there. If somebody hasn't watched the show before, how would you easily describe it to them?
You want to take this one?
Oh, how do we easily describe it? It's and I would say this season in particular is a, how can we describe it easy? It's a family driven show about these witches who have come to terms with their powers and because of a spoiled engagement have a rival family that they have to tend with now, which is our family, the Gardner family, which creates a lot of tension within this town.
And stylistically, what would you say is one of the biggest influences of the show? Is it kind of like soapy, like those great spelling shows from the 90s, or is it a little bit more realistic or
What
supernaturally? I mean, all the above. How would you describe that?
Probably a little all of the above, but
Yeah.
this year definitely has taken on a new look stylistically. The aesthetic's different. It's a lot darker, a lot edgier. The content's a little bit darker, a little bit edgier. It feels a lot more cinematic. So I think all the changes, in my opinion, are welcomed.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more interesting. But it still has the things about it last year that were so popular. It still has, like Eric was saying, that family nucleus, the relationships within with the women. It feels a little bit more adult, I think.
It definitely feels more adult. And I think what's great for us in particular this year is it has a lot more of the guys this season and really getting into our backstory and our relationship
Right.
and how we ultimately are going to affect this Beauchamp family in the long run.
Yeah, it's been a blast in that regard.
That means a lot more work for you guys.
Yeah.
A lot more work. And well, last year we were kind of, I'll say, confined to that triangle. So our entire world existed within that little universe, right? So this year they're just exploring the men and their backstory a little bit and their relationship to each other, which has been a lot of fun to shoot. We got a lot more work together, and just I think raises the stakes because now people are going to be a little more invested in who these guys actually are and watch their journey and their development as they kind of come to terms with their newfound powers, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a I guess everybody kind of saw that we got some sort of powers at the end of last season, but that is a nice little, I would say, tip as to what's to come next season because it really opens up on Killian and Dash kind of going through what Ingrid and Freya went through last year with these newfound powers, and we definitely do have powers, and now it's a matter of which one of us is really going to use it for the right purpose, and which one of us is going to use it the wrong way.
Absolutely.
And there's a good and evil to the two of us.
Totally, and because of this rebirth, we're all of the relationships that we have are going to be re-explored because it changes who we are fundamentally, and it just that's what I think is so interesting. It also, as an actor, we get to re-explore those relationships. Not more of the same; it's truly different, and I think the audience is going to respond well to that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any say into what kind of powers? Like, are they going to be different than the girls, or you have the same powers, or anything you can tell us about that?
I think it's different for sure. We didn't have any say, into it. They definitely made a choice this year. Alan Arkish, who they brought on, who had done a lot of Heroes and a lot of other great shows, wanted to give everybody their specific sort of look and style to their power, so it felt very defined within each character. And I feel like they definitely are different than what the women showed last year. Mine stems a lot, with electricity and that type of energy, and you have, other gifts.
Other gifts. Read into that however you like. No, but those, yeah, exactly. No, I think, and also the journey in which we get to those powers and is much different from the girls. The girls had a little more guidance, I think. I think some of the most interesting stuff that we have this year is kind of the self-discovery, and it doesn't come super easy, and we don't really have the guidance that the women had. Some of us might be slow learners. I don't know.
I would imagine that a show like this,
Surgeon
though.
Dash over here. I mean, no, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope they don't rush that, and we're still kind of in the thick of it now. And I hope it's not rushed. I think that's some of the most interesting stuff. Is just the learning curve, for the characters.
And I would imagine, dealing with these kind of special powers and filming for a TV show like this would require a lot of special effects. Does that how does that affect your acting? Like, are you doing a lot of stuff with green screen or a lot of stuff after the fact?
We've had some green screen. I'll be honest, our effects department has been fantastic, and they've really made a lot of stuff come to life in a big way, which is, it's kudos to Lifetime and the studio for really wanting to put that money behind making the stuff look good on the day. There obviously is a lot of green screen work too, but, I blew up a car in a few episodes ago, which was, great. And to see something like that put together and them not, go for it budget, on the budget, it was pretty cool.
You guys mentioned earlier that there was this love triangle in the first season. In the next season, the upcoming season, premiering July 6th, will there be new romance for either of you guys or both of you?
Yeah, well, yeah. This guy.
No, look, I think the love triangle was popular last year, and there's this year it takes on a new feel, certainly. I think for Killian, anyways, whereas he spent a lot of time being the pursuer, this year he's a little more of the pursued, which feels kind of nice. And obviously, Dash made a nice little exit from the triangle last season.
Yeah, I exited the triangle temporarily, and I get to explore a different romance in it. In an entirely different way. That will be a big tip. So I can't say.
Yeah, we can't say, but it's gonna blow the audience's mind for sure. Dash is I
get entangled in somebody's web.
And there are new love interests coming onto the show. We can't really say who, but it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be really. It's actually kind of, like I said, a little more adult. It's gonna be kind of steamy.
So does that mean steaminess that we'll be seeing shirtlessness?
His shirt's off every episode, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna have to search
took that title last year, and he got the title.
I avoided it for a while.
He got lucky last year. It was me in bed with Jenna almost every episode last year. Now it's him in bed with somebody every episode.
Is there a lot of pressure then to try to look better than each other?
I just let him win every time.
I don't know about Dash, but I make sure I bring my own lighting people in. I get airbrushed entirely.
He's airbrushing his tricep every day.
I make sure I make sure I'm there, but we CGI some extra abs in there every once in a while. Oh yeah, I don't.
It's like the movie 300 every time he has a love scene.
Were you able to? I mean, I would imagine when you're filming and you do have to be shirtless a lot, then that you must, eat healthy and all that jazz. Were you able to enjoy yourselves, though, during the hiatus? Did you gain 10, 15, 20 pounds?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're, I don't know. Everything in moderation, I guess.
I guess I'm one of those, he's the same way. We kind of eat healthy on a pretty regular basis, but at the same time, when you're not filming, get to go out there and enjoy a little bit and not be so caught up in it,
So this season, you guys get special powers. Now, technically, wouldn't make you male witches, though? Are you like warlocks? Or explain this to me.
Yeah, I think that's the correct terminology. I don't know what it means to Dash and Killian at this point, I don't know if they really have a relationship to what they are. I mean, just label-wise. But yeah, I think a male witch would be a warlock, and
that gets explained to me after a few episodes that's what I am.
Yeah, in the moment we just kind of figure we don't know what's happening to us.
Yeah.
It's kind of traumatic. We're not really comfortable with what's going on. It's just very shocking, jarring, and in a way we feel like we're kind of losing it.
When I lived in Los Angeles, I used to play dodgeball, and on my dodgeball team, there was straight up a legit real life witch.
Really?
A guy witch, actually. Well, I think he'd be a warlock, but
you had a warlock on your dodgeball.
Yeah, no, but he would practice, and he'd meet up with his witchy friends, and they'd do witchy stuff. Have you guys met, or have you had people come up to you and be like, "I'm a witch and I love your show," or the opposite, "I'm a witch and this is so not authentic"? Have you had any of those experiences?
No, not for me, not yet.
I haven't directly, but Machen, who plays Wendy on the show, has told me about a few experiences that she's had with people on Twitter that correct her about witch terminology,
Right.
and which I always find very bizarre that I'm getting corrected on something that's a witch terminology type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little bizarre. We do have somebody in our production office that seems to know an awful lot about witchery too.
That is true.
We get emails about the solstice and all these different
yeah.
things that come up, which is a little eerie.
And not
on a dodgeball team.
Yeah.
I find that, at least if they could use it and apply it to dodgeball, that would make it more interesting. They could be flying around and taking people out with a dodgeball. That's great.
Yes, he was the Irish witch. Seamus is his name. Shout
Seamus.
out to him.
That's great. That's great.
If you guys could cast a spell that would give you a real life special power, what would it be?
I always go to the same answer. I think mine would be to fly. I really, really think flying.
That's a good one.
You're obviously not afraid of heights.
Not afraid of heights. I'm not. I would love it.
I would say, is time travel a realistic power? I mean, why not?
Sure.
Yeah, I think time travel would be fun. I'd like to sit on some historic dinners, or experience the Renaissance, or I don't know, post World War II. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. That's very indulgent power, though, right?
I think mine trumps both of yours combined. My special power would be mind control.
There you go.
That's
That's a big one.
I know, I love it.
That's a big one. You could rule the world with that.
absolutely.
Or, forget love spell. I don't need a love spell. If I have mind control, I can do a love spell and everything else.
Exactly.
That takes the fun out of it.
Your mom turned out in the first season to be maybe not the nicest person in the show. not your mom's in real life, obviously.
What happened?
What'd you say?
Is Virginia Madsen's going to be around in the second season as well? Or not?
No, she definitely died an official death in that first season at the end of the season. I mean, you never know because we're still at the end of the day you're dealing with witchery, right?
And past lives and dream sequences. So anything's possible, and I think the show lends itself to that type of thing. So the doors are never closed.
Yeah,
which is cool.
But you hinted though that maybe one of you will be the darker one of the two, or both.
Well, again, because of the nature of the show, anything is possible. Really, that's why I think it's so popular as well. Is there are no rules in this world. Anything goes, and because we have those past lives, those dreams, you can be within the same episode. You can be a villain and then turn out to be a hero. So yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, as was teased at the end of the last season, there is a darkness to Dash, especially when it comes to hurt, frustration, or anger. That's a lot of what drives his power in a way that he starts to feel. It's similar to what happened at the end of the season when I threw Killian up into the air with my rage. It was basically I never even laid a hand on him, but the angrier I got, he went flying. So that's definitely a little tip as to the journey that Dash starts to head on.
Do you each have a favorite memory or moment for your character from the first season?
Probably throwing him up on.
That sounds pretty epic.
Oh,
Really
yours was
killing me was your
definitely the
favorite.
fan when you had the fan blowing your hair for about
Oh,
a
I
half
just
hour.
I love fans. Love fans going through the hair. What can I say? It's favorite. No, I had a favorite scene. I think for me, my favorite scene was that boat scene. I think it was the second episode.
Oh, that we did together.
I was thinking more with Freya, but that was nice. I thought that gave us a chance to just explore that relationship in an innocent way, which was fun.
Eric, your wife, Rosalind Sanchez, is also on a Lifetime show that also airs Sunday nights. Do you kind of always watch TV together on Sundays then?
Yeah, I kind of, we're roped into each other's shows. We have to support each other.
Although,
Wow.
wait, you're filming in Canada, and where does she film Devious Maids? Is that
Atlanta.
in Atlanta?
Yeah, she just wrapped, so she's actually up here now with me. So we were both in Atlanta for a good 4 months, and I did the back and forth thing a little bit, and now the whole family's moved up here, and she's up here for 3 more months.
Well, that's good. I actually am an honorary Canadian. I love Canada.
Yeah,
Right
there
on.
you
You're a
go.
Canadian. And I
Um,
heard, Daniel, you speak 3 languages?
well, I grew up in Montreal, so I speak some French, and then I majored in Italian in college and studied abroad in Florence. And I'm of Italian background, so I wouldn't say 100% fluent. Well, the more obviously you lose it if you don't use it. But yeah, I can speak a couple languages.
I could barely speak one, so that's very impressive. And Eric, you studied Italian in college. Eric, you studied psychology, I heard.
Yeah. I got my
That's
degree in psychology. I
that's very
ultimately,
practical.
yeah, in this business, it works out pretty well. Yeah, no, I was actually a psychobiology major at UCLA. I wanted to be a doctor, and went astray. Decided to model and act, and then play a doctor on TV. So I got there eventually, but I tied up my degree in psychology.
And do you actually use any of that when, trying to break down a character or a scene, or does it play into your acting work in any way?
It definitely does. I mean, you learn. It's one of those things where studying true psychology and that sort of thing. If you're not in practice with it all the time, then learning a lot of the, applying a lot of things you did take up in college. But there are a lot of the basic tools that, yeah, kind of get ingrained in your mind. And when you're dealing with this business and the type of people you you encounter on a daily basis, especially in our pursuit of jobs and gaining work and being able to deal with this very unstable business, it can be helpful.
I'm gonna try to get something from Lifetime, but maybe you can steer me in the right direction. Would you remember, either of you, like if there was a super funny like blooper or just a mess up that happened that you recall, like your funniest moment that didn't
There are
make
too
it to
many. I
air?
mean,
We've had a
it would
lot to
definitely
play.
happen with one of the scenes with us.
Yeah, we've
There's
had
no
a
question.
lot. This year we've had a
Yeah,
lot.
we'll make that blooper reel for sure.
We've had a couple that were, you could talk about if you can get, I think we were definitely rolling. When I first see him again, and we have this very, funny embrace, which we did quite a few bloopers on this embrace that we tried to carry through, while the camera was still rolling. Like, God, I feel like there definitely
Every
are
time.
some. I'm trying to think of,
Every time.
Well, let's watch it.
yeah.
And then miraculously it will play. All right. Well, thank you. So I'm going to recap. The upcoming season is going to be a lot more dramatic, even more superpowers,